Hello and welcome to Tucson, Arizona. I'm Randy.
I'm somebody. Nick.
Yeah, Nick is back. It's been a while.
Did you ever get the last ones posted?
Which ones?
The rattlesnake ones?
No, Streamlabs for some reason lost all of that.
That sucks.
Yeah, it sucks real bad because that was an hour and a half of video and I got 10 minutes to show for it because it lost everything.
That sucks.
Yeah, I'm a bit peeved about it. So I haven't used Streamlabs since.
Yeah, shout out to Streamlabs.
Yeah, I still have it, but I haven't used it. I think I've done a little bit of editing with it because I can take any of these videos and upload them on there and edit and do whatever. I haven't yet.
Gotcha.
But editing isn't really something I'm all that interested in. If you say something and later you're like, "Hey, bro, I didn't mean to say that. Take it down." I'll edit it out. But generally speaking, just don't say things you don't want on the internet.
That makes sense.
Like, I'm still small enough that I don't really get a lot of views on most of these. I'm hoping that'll change soon.
Yeah.
But we'll see. For now, it is what it is.
Anything with me on, they'll be like, it's too shiny. Should have worn my hat.
Dude, that's my thing, dude. Like, baldy boys.
Yeah, but you've got a little bit of a tan at least.
Yeah, perks of working outside in the Arizona sun.
We'll start going like this and be like,
Oh, angling it. It could be worse, dude. I packed up. I mean, you can see I've emptied quite a bit. I've changed quite a bit since the last time we were here.
Yeah.
I packed up all my studio lighting because I wasn't using it. Like, this lighting seems to be working fine.
Yeah.
But yeah, I packed it up and I thought about it. I'm like, there's no point in having it because half the dudes are going to be coming on here, like, shave their heads.
Mm-hmm.
So all it's going to be is just a shite. Like, I've got the glimmer and so do you. Like, it's pointless. There's no point in having it. Plus, I've got the camera far enough back.
Yeah.
Because having potentially 4 people, like, here soon we should be having 4 people in here.
Yeah.
And I'm hoping those ones start, like, getting my views up, dude. Start getting things out there. But I'm also going to start actually, like, promoting the channel soon. So we'll see.
Channel.
Yeah. I've got over 1,000 views on a couple of my shorts now.
Nice.
Yeah, I got an alert for the very first one. They cracked 1,000. It's at like 1,300 now.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So I've gotten a few. None of my full length videos have done that. I think the best one I've done so far is like 75 views on one of those videos, but I don't think they actually finished the video.
Yeah.
So retention rate, it is what it is. I didn't really start this to like get famous or get rich. I just figured it'd be a good excuse to get friends to come hang out. Mm-hmm. And then if at some point I can start making money off of hanging out with people I already want to hang out with.
Yeah.
Cool.
I started it to get famous. That's the whole reason I'm on here.
I'm hoping it could pay for some of my hobbies.
Feet pics. Just let me know.
Feet pics. So that's funny. So, Whatnot. You introduced me to Whatnot. I've now spent money on Whatnot. I've spent a lot of time just chilling and Whatnot. And we were just talking about it.
Sorry about that, by the way.
Yeah. Well, and then I introduced my wife to Whatnot. Dude, she's ordered a bunch of stuff. A lot of people getting shiny objects for Christmas this year from my wife. But feet pics. So I was hanging out in one, it's a Pokemon channel, and it's 888. Everything they do is like your top shelf is $888. So, and there's 888 wheel spins and all that. So it was, I don't know, it was like 10 o'clock at night on like a Friday or whatever. So like kind of late, but not terrible. And I had just hopped in and people were talking about her shoes. I don't know why they were talking about her shoes, but it was clearly people who were like on there a lot, on that one channel a lot.
Yeah.
So it started turning into like this, like shoe picture, like show us your shoes, like starting, like it was clearly joking. And I was like, when are you starting your Only Shoes account? You know, and then everyone just kind of ran with Only Shoes. So we started calling her Only Shoes. I hung out on there for like another hour and a half just because the chat was fun.
Yeah. That's the best part.
Yeah, dude. It was like Only Shoes. So until she ended her night and someone else came in, she's like, all right, guys, stop. She did finally, though, like lift up her feet and show her shoes on the camera.
All you see
show us your shoes. Show us your shoes. And then we're like, ooh, feet, gross. But we just want to see your shoes.
That's funny.
So he introduced me to this crazy ass app where people are selling everything.
Yeah.
and I've won a few things. And if you're not familiar with the Whatnot app, I wasn't until like 2.5 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago.
Something like that. I was beginning of October is when I like
No, but
went
when
on
you
the
told
first time.
when you told me about it.
Yeah, and it was about a month later, so probably 2-3 weeks, something like that.
Yeah. So yeah, I think it was right before Thanksgiving.
Mm-hmm.
So I go on here, and if you're our age or just into anime, Pokemon, Funko Pops, stuff like that, it is the place to be to try to get Pokemon cards and Funkos for like a good deal,
Mm-hmm.
but in like a fast-paced auction.
Yeah. You just got to be careful because every time you swipe, it counts towards your bank account, and it doesn't tell you your totals. So just be very careful.
This is true.
You can $7 yourself to death there.
Yeah, well, I $3'd myself into like a $45 night.
Yep.
That night that you popped in. So people doing tons of auctions. They could do giveaways every like 5 minutes or so on most channels. Not all channels do it, but most channels do, especially the big ones. Win free stuff. That app is crazy, dude. If I'd have known about that earlier.
It's dangerous though. It really is because it sucks up a lot of. I actually got the phone notification this week because remember I got partially banned from entering giveaways. I guess I was entering too many giveaways, but I was on a lot. So I mean, if it's up there, I'm gonna enter it. I want to win free stuff, and so I finally got banned. I guess it was a temporary ban. And so from 1 week of not using it to the next week of using it, it said you used your phone 6.5 hours or 6 hours 34 minutes more than the free. I was like, oh damn, I need to I'm not buying stuff really, but I'm just
and they're hanging out a lot.
Yeah, I'll like every like 2 or 3 days I'll see something. I'll be like, oh, $6. Like I'll just buy something. But nothing like crazy. But when I first got on there, I think I spent about like 10 Funko Pops from one guy, but I was winning them in $1 or $2 at a time, and I like $40'd myself to death by the time I got there. I was like, oh damn, I need to slow down on that.
Yeah, dude, Whatnot can be dangerous. I got, I know I told you about it, but I've got the gigantic golden Indiana Jones Funko Pop for $20 because I won the auction at $20, and then this whole back wall, it was like 3 baker's racks wide. And they probably had like 60 different giant pops. Mm-hmm. And I was looking at it for like 5 minutes, watching them go. I guess maybe not, just a couple minutes. And only like 2 people had won so far and picked things I wasn't going to pick anyway. Because they were after like My Hero Academia, like stuff my kids want. And
I don't even know what that is.
Dude, it's an anime. The boys at Richter's all about it. So I got, so I won it. And there was the big Optimus Prime. Mm-hmm. And I was like, ooh, I really want that. And then they showed the golden Indiana Jones. I was like, gotta go Indy. Like, it's close. And I thought about buying another one. But like 2 spins later, someone else picked Optimus. And I was like, all right, I guess I'm done here. Yeah. And I just bought 1 or 2, I think 1 other thing from them. So I've bought I got on there for Funko Pops and then realized just how many Pokemon channels there were. Yeah. And most of my time is now spent watching Pokemon.
Yeah, dude, it's nostalgic for me. Mm-hmm. Like I watch, I don't know if we can say the names.
Oh, it takes me back, dude.
Can we say people's names of channels?
Go for it, bro.
I don't know if we get in trouble for that.
I don't think so. Pull the mic or get a little closer to it anyway.
So a guy named T Slabs, he does like box openings of old cards when I was collecting. I mean, I don't collect anymore, but I enjoy the nostalgia of just watching them open them. I'm like, oh crap, I have that. Oh, I had that. And like, it's just kind of cool to be there for that kind of stuff. And I mean, they're going for like $600 a pack now, and
it's so crazy. It's so crazy.
I'm not doing that.
I need to find my collection should still exist. I know you still have yours, like in your house.
I do. I need to pull it out and find it because some of those cards, like even just the loose sleeve ones, not graded, nothing. They're like going for like $300, and I was like,
I know, dude. That's so nuts. Like, I need to find mine. I've lived a different life than you. So all of mine, like, we were collecting all at the same time, but we're also Gen 1 kids. Like, when that came out, like day one, we were watching the episodes as they were dropping.
We were buying
cards as soon as they started dropping. Like, all of our collection, well, all of my collection, minus any of the new stuff I've gotten in the last like month, all of the cards I own are Gen 1 cards.
Mm-hmm.
From whether it be the original or when they started doing what was the green series right after.
The only ones that I think I remember are the original, and then they had Jungle.
Jungle, that's the one.
And then Fossil.
Yep.
And then they did the
team ups or whatever.
No, not team ups. It's a Gym Trainer.
Yeah.
And then after that, I kind of.
So, I know. So every one of those that I have are Gen 1, like very first run, and I got in on some early Japanese cards. So I feel like Japanese Snorlax and his trainer, and then a couple other random Japanese cards I was trading for. Like this is back when Toys R Us was like the hot spot, and they did competitions every week
when it existed.
Yeah. So, but back then, like every week we did like beg someone, who's typically your dad, because fortunately your dad got big into it too.
Yes.
Mine would buy him for us, but he didn't really like care.
Yeah.
Like, he was like, "Oh yeah, this is the thing," and he knew it was a big thing, which is why he started buying us packs.
Yeah.
But like, and then like for chores or whatever, he'd like give us packs or give us money, take us to go buy packs, whatever. But your dad got into it where he was building his own collection.
Yeah.
And building one for your mom. That's nuts.
Yeah. No, it was
like
that's like one of the coolest things from my childhood.
Dude, yeah, it's dope.
Like, I don't even care what it is, just the fact that like here a short story, but I remember one day I just randomly got up, got ready to go to school. Like I always just got up, went, showered, got dressed, went in, I ate my food, I got ready, like I was ready for the bus. And my dad walked in with a card table and just set it up, and I was like, "What are you doing?" And he's like, "You're not going to school today." I was like, "Oh, okay." Like I thought I was in trouble. Like, what'd you catch me on? And he just, I think it was like 6 or 7 first edition Fossil boxes. He just set them, like brought them out of his car. He had left them in the trunk overnight, and he's like, "I bought these yesterday. We're gonna stay here and open them." But he like, we full gloves, like sleeves, everything. And I still have those sets at the house, so I have like I have a complete set of first edition Fossil set, complete first edition, never been touched by human hands.
That's so rad.
Yeah,
like just for the nostalgia, that's rad.
Yeah.
Like, and that's all this is for me, dude. When I start seeing them bust out slabs, I was like, we top loaded a lot. Like I've got a bunch that are top loaded.
Yeah,
and if we were gonna transport and play a game or whatever, we top loaded and then played with top loads, but I never knew anyone to get them slabbed.
No, I didn't even really know how big slabbing was until I got on the Whatnot app. Like
I knew it was a thing, but that's because I'm into comics.
Yeah.
So I know comics are a thing. So I knew people did them with cards, and I have a few baseball cards that are slabbed, but I don't have Pokemon cards that are slabbed.
Dude, you can do video games slabbed.
I've seen those.
You can do.
I've seen full
closed
closed box video games, like original, like Nintendo. Like games in their original box, slabbed. I've seen those. A lot of N64 games.
Yep,
it's so nuts to me, man. Like this is stuff that I've collected my entire life.
I saw all my collection too.
Yeah, dude. Like all of my video games are right above my head. Like not all, but all the ones that aren't in my house are right up here. Like 4 big boxes full of systems and games for those systems and cables and remotes and memory cards and all the fun stuff.
Yep.
Because as soon as I get one of these people out my damn house, I'm getting a gaming room.
I can leave, bro.
Just kidding. Get out. I'm building a gaming room, you dirty bastard. But yeah, like as soon as one of these kids hightail it, I'm going to be getting my gaming room. And it's something I've never really pushed for. I've mentioned my wife is all about it. So we're going to have the gaming room.
I can't wait till my kids are a little older because we have their playroom, and I can't wait till we can start filling that with stuff. But they're so little still.
Oh, dude, they'll destroy everything.
They already do.
Yeah,
literally everything.
Hopes, dreams,
everything. Wallet.
Yeah. Oh, dude, bank accounts, man. Kill bank accounts.
I know. That's why Whatnot's dangerous. I can't do both.
Well, yeah, dude. And I've got my wife doing it, and I'm doing it. And the cool thing is, though, is I kind of gamed the system. I'm the only one of us that has a PayPal account because I've had a PayPal account for 20 whatever years. She doesn't have one, so we just linked her Whatnot to my PayPal.
Oh, okay.
So whatever she buys, I get alerts for her. So I may not know what it is, and I don't care to look, but I will see. Like when we're both sitting on the couch, dude, that's exactly what happened. So like I knew what she was doing because she was like, "Oh, cool, I found this page. I'm gonna buy I don't want to say in case anyone watches, but she was saying what she was getting a bunch of people like in the family and at the church and stuff. And she was like, this page has everything I want for Daniel, Rhodes, and like pastor's wife and Rachel. Like she found a bunch of stuff. Very shiny. And she goes, I want to get all these things. I was like, cool, go for it. I'm hanging out on this page. And that was the night I found the page with the $3 starts.
Yep.
So I was like, cool. I'm just gonna stay here, and I was like racking up. Oh, Venusaur EX, nice. Oh, Bulbasaur, oh nice. Oh, War Turtle, oh nice. Like, so I just started pulling things off that wall for $3, and I just keep getting alerts, and I was like, I'm not on that page, and I just look over. I was like, oh, okay, it's you just bought. She was like, yeah, I just won this one, and she says won.
Yeah, it's not.
Yeah, no, she won the auction.
Yeah,
like, she spent money.
I just paid for that one. Dude, it's funny.
She's got a bunch of givvies though.
Oh yeah,
like
dude, I have like probably 20 that are still coming right
yeah,
now
dude, but you
over
got,
the last 2 weeks.
The givvies I've gotten are not the same level of givvies you've gotten.
Because I'll sit in a channel for 6-7 hours and literally like watching the kids on Sundays all morning. That's what I was doing, and I won a booster box this morning of Pokemon cards, and I didn't do anything.
Damn, why do I have to do things?
I did spend $6 this morning, so it was like $11 or whatever.
$6.
But I got 2 booster boxes
$6
because I won a booster box
for
from
2
them,
booster
and
boxes.
then
$6. Get out of here.
It was 11.
Dude, I spent $6 on 3 packs, 5 card packs, because I was trying to win something on a wheel, and I was like, oh, I'll try. Like the numbers were still low. And I got 3, I don't even remember, Surging Sparks.
Okay.
I had 3 Surging Sparks, and then on another one, I got 2 something different. Different one than Surging Sparks. And, like, I got some okay ones out of them. Like, I think they're fun, but
see that?
It's nostalgia, dude. Nostalgia gets me. And then it starts coming from my money.
I know. Dude, I'm in this weird pickle, though, because, like, Trevin likes Pokemon cards, but he destroys everything.
Yeah.
So opening these cards with him means absolutely nothing, and I don't know if there's anything of value because I don't follow it enough. Like
I watch people thumb through them, and then there's even foils, the holographics that they just set aside. They don't care.
Yeah,
but then they top load this other one. I'm like, well, how is that worth money?
Well,
because back in the day, third or final evolution foil, those were the ones that you were after.
Yep.
Like if it's a 2 evolution or a 3 evolution, whichever it was.
Magikarp, Gyarados, it's Gyarados.
Yeah.
Like, that's it.
Like Hitmonchamp. Like there's certain cards where you're like, oh, dude, what? Top load, done. Don't touch that card. Don't even look at it.
Yep.
I'll just imagine what it looks like, and that's what it looks like. But yeah. So anyways, so you want to do this with no.
Yeah.
No,
So
he's going to be opening all those cards here on video.
if we do, though, that it's gonna. I don't care. I watch all these guys open them, and they don't have gloves on. Nothing. If I do it, I'm gonna definitely do it with gloves on. Like
your cards,
I'm
bro.
gonna be
like
cautious as hell. But like,
I'll just
point,
watch, dude. I'll just sit in the cut corner and watch.
I sent you. Well, you're probably gonna have to help me. That's a lot of fucking cards. I sent you a picture. I think I have 2, 4, 6, 8 booster boxes currently, ish. But I have
that sounds right.
Probably 12.
And then you got stuff coming.
I probably have 12 because I have one from T Slabs that I won like a week ago. That's here Monday.
Let's see. Those are top loaders. Those videos.
Yeah.
Some slabs. Here we go.
Oh yeah, and I won that random slab. I have another slab that I won the other day.
Jeez,
I don't
dude.
know nothing.
Yeah, you got a Stellar Crown box. That's an Elite Trainer box. Then you've got those 4 Japanese Surging Sparks boxes.
Oh wait, let me see. Oh yeah.
And then, well, at least the 2 of them are Surging Sparks. I'm assuming the other 2 are part of the same series.
One Stellar Crown. I don't. The blue one is Stellar Crown. I thought, but I honestly don't know. This is it. I have.
Well, no, that's the big Stellar Crown there.
That's the American Stellar Crown. That's that top right one right there is the other Stellar Crown, but that's the Japanese.
The Japanese. And
I
then
think.
3. Those are. I know that's Surging Sparks, and that's Surging Sparks.
And that's Paradise something because I hear him talk about it, but I don't know.
No, that's it's got the stones. This
okay.
This Surging Sparks.
See, I don't even know enough about them.
And then the big Surging Sparks Elite Trainer box,
mm-hmm.
and then a bunch of packs.
Yeah, dude, I just got 14 more packs in the mail.
Nice.
Bro.
And then you got Obsidian Flames here, and then another Surging Sparks built in the battle box.
Yep, and I have one more box of one more of those types of boxes I've already got in the mail.
Oh, dude, nice.
And mind you,
what was this one?
Let me see.
A Japanese something.
I got. I think
super colorful. I don't even know what that is.
I have 1 or 2 of those now. I think I don't know which one that
And
is.
it's so hard to tell what's on that art because it's so bizarre.
While I was on the channel today, I heard him saying that they do like one elite box a year, and that was last year's. And the new one just came out, and I don't know what the name of it, but that's one of the boxes that I won. The
Nice.
newest one is the box that I won.
So if you like Pokemon, at some point there's probably going to be a big video coming, and I'm going to promote the crap out of that.
It's going to be long.
Dude, yeah,
it's
dude.
going to be so long because
It's going to be so rad.
I've opened like 10 packs, and I do it with gloves on and everything. It takes me so long, bro, because I haven't done it for so long, and I'm like, I'm cutting them because I'm like, I can't, like, I watch those guys tear
just
them, and I'm
pop
like,
'em.
I feel like I'm going to tear the cards in half.
I did that with one the other day. With
'Cause
one of the Surgeon Sparks I opened. I was like,
But
like,
I did notice though, because I have opened a couple of packs, across the bottom now it says, like, it'll say either you in Japanese, because that's what most of them are that I won. C is common, U is uncommon, R is rare, and I believe RR is super rare.
yeah.
And then they have IR, SIR, and AR, but I don't know which packs fall with which, because they're not, all the ARs aren't in maybe Surging Sparks. They may not be in that. They might be in Stellar Crown. And SIRs might be in this one. I don't know which one's which, but it actually says it across the bottom, so at least you know what it is, and it's a good card. But I don't know. And I don't know what half
Because
the names are.
I got a double rare as a givey from one of the pages that I'm on.
See, and those are the ones they throw. They literally just throw them. And I'm like,
Yeah, the double rare.
I'm
Like
used-
I
I'm
think
used to
that
just rare.
the yeah, because the dude, Venusaur EX that I got, I think it's either a rare or a double rare. That was just in a givey, but that one has a crease line in it, which is probably why. And then I didn't even look at the other one. Like the other one's right there. But I've got a bunch of stuff inside.
Yeah.
These ones. I was opening stuff out here. I think this is all.
you're gonna have to start saving yours so we can do them all together.
It's true, but I opened them all before you ever mentioned that, and
Yeah.
before we had that conversation.
Well, that's what I was saying.
But yeah, from whatever's going on moving forward, though, I can definitely do that. Is this one of them? This is a givey. Oh, so it's not even in anything.
Yeah, sometimes they don't.
It's just naked.
And
Oh, it's in a sleeve.
I can't really get mad at them for that though, because they give it to you for free.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm not.
Oh yeah, I don't know who that is,
Me neither.
but
And this
looks cool. Yeah,
was
I think that's the ultra rare RRs. I don't really know for sure though.
this one's top loaded. That was another givey.
See, and they top loaded this one, and it's not. It's an uncommon.
Like
So
yeah,
that should have been. Those should be swapped.
right. That's why I'm like, what? What is all
I-
this? Oh, this doesn't have anything to do with it. This is all Trump stickers. This had nothing to do with it. Yeah, this was a givey from who I'm planning on buying stickers and stuff to promote the channel.
Yeah,
So this was a
That's
big
funny.
giveaway. They were doing it near the end of the election.
mugshot. Love it.
So, and if you've ever seen this show, you know who I vote for politically.
Yeah,
But I'm also
Barbara Walters,
Barbara Walters, Jane Fonda.
John Stamos.
But yeah, dude, like, so I was like, why did you top load that? And then this guy's not.
Yeah,
I don't even understand. But it was from two different channels.
and I know.
But they're both givvies, so I'm like, all right, cool, whatever.
You see it. So I looked it up because I
All
wanted
my
to know.
other stuff's in the house.
But a lot of these, like even the SRs and SIRs and stuff, because I think I have one that I've got out of the thing.
Mm-hmm.
They're really not. They're worth like $3, and I'm like, okay, well, why are people spending $60 on a box
Yeah,
when
like-
this is one of the best ones? And
Yeah,
that's all
like
you
I
can
got
get?
a Slow King holographic, and he's only worth like $4 or something like that.
Yeah, I have.
According to the page, whatever I found.
Yeah, I found a weird website, and I've been trying to look up some of them. Yep, here it is. And I really don't know, but you upload a picture of it,
Oh, and it'll give you
and
an idea,
it gives you.
like the window of what it's worth.
Yeah, so this is gouging fire, gouging fire,
Gouging fire. Okay.
something like that. And what's the number on it?
Your mom.
On the bottom. Make sure it's.
I didn't know
number-
you still needed information.
Yeah, I think it's number 12, but some of them have similar numbers.
12. Yeah. 12 of 71.
So $1.50 if it's graded. PSA 10, it's a $15.79. And
What?
that's what I mean. Like, but that's a rare.
That guy.
That's an ultra
It's
rare.
an ultra rare, dude. RR.
So I probably have like $8 worth of Pokemon cards and everything. But I just don't understand the values and shit of them anymore. I don't
Me
know.
neither.
Oh,
Like Xerneas,
it's an uncommon.
88 out of 191 illusion. So what is it? The H that is uncommon?
The star, that one's a star, right? It's got a diamond at the bottom.
Yep.
Yeah. So just like the All Americans were cards back in the day, were circles for common, diamonds for uncommon, and then a star for rare.
Yeah.
I don't know now if there's anything different, but that's what it used to be.
Dude, I have no idea. I've been out of the game.
Yeah. And I don't really know if I plan on ever getting back in the game, but I follow
Dude,
the channels. I watch them for nostalgia.
I've dipped my toe, bro. I've bought in a few. I've dipped my toe back in the game.
Well, I did buy a pack today. Yes, technically. I told you I did it again. I did it yesterday too. So I actually have 3 more packs on the way, plus a couple. Like my whatnot is insane.
I've been told I can't spend any more money until after Christmas.
My bank account told me I can't spend any more money until I get paid on the 15th.
My wife told me. Well, up until an hour ago, this was all full of presents.
Yeah.
Like I emptied it, and then she goes, because I've been trying to clear out and just get prepared for the like Christmas vacation chaos, because I tend to build something when I'm on vacation or whatever.
Clean, organize something.
Yeah. So like I took stuff out of the house and brought it in here. So now it's just taking up space, and that's my epoxy table. So like I got a giant workbench that I've got built just for working epoxy and building furniture. So it is currently full of furniture from the house.
Then monitor.
Well, that's 2 monitors actually back to back, because those need to go.
Yeah.
Because I've got this, and then I've got my other new one up there behind the TV. So I'm like surrounded by screens right now.
Random, but we're actually putting together a pile of stuff. We're going to have a garage sale, mainly because Trevin wants to. Trevin's my oldest son. He wants to start earning money so he can buy more video games.
Yep.
So he's getting rid of some of his toys. So we started putting stuff aside, because just having kids' toys at a garage sale, nobody's going to stop. So the desk that I gave you, I was just going to throw it in there for like $20 if somebody wanted it. Like, I don't care. I'll get rid of stuff. I'm not there to try to make a ton of money, but
Yeah, just want it gone.
if you guys want, we can do it together. You guys can have.
Yeah, don't look over here, dude. That's a money wall.
No. But if you guys have like that stuff, like you want to get rid of monitors, fucking take them. You probably get $10 for a monitor. I mean, it's not sit there and hang out on a Saturday morning for a couple hours, make $50.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
So.
Yeah, because my wife keeps talking about doing one.
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah, but I need to have time to actually go through all this stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So next Friday is my last day of work for the year, and then
Because of vacation, not because he's fired. To be clear.
yeah, my boss won't fire me. I've tried. Yeah, so in that time, I typically get to build Christmas presents. Like dude, I've been so busy with life that I haven't had like an inspiration on what to build. Normally every year I get an inspiration to build my wife something. 3 years ago? Yeah, 3 years ago, I built her like 11-foot tall saguaro out of metal piping. I mean, it's buried 2.5 feet in the ground, so it's only like 9 feet tall. But yeah, I built her the saguaro. You and Fatty came over when I was working on that. That was cool. And then I built my stepmom one also. And what the hell did I build her? Last year I built her a giant frog that's playing a guitar with a mic stand. And he's like 5 feet tall. The year before I built her, or no, did I do those at the same time? I'm trying to remember. I built her a little frog band out of like, got a guitarist, a drummer, a bass player, and a violin player. So like a jazz band of frogs are like this tall, out of like nails and washers and caps and things like that. So I welded together this little frog band. That was last year. The hell did I make her the year before? I also made her a Christmas tree, a metal Christmas tree for the front yard. I don't know if you saw that, but it's out front. What did I make her the year before? I know I made her something. I make her something out here in the shop every year. Last year was cool though, because I had the big frog. That took forever. Yeah, and then I made the boys the digitized looking, pixelated Mario and Donkey Kong.
Those were cool.
With the backlighting, so they hang on the wall. Those were a lot of fun. Dude, I was so much work.
Mm-hmm.
Did I make her something out of that too? Oh yeah, I made her the cross. So I made her the frog 2 years ago. I made her the big cross last year that's hanging on the wall there.
Yep.
It's like 2.5 foot tall, multi-level piped square tube cross.
We had this discussion like 4 days ago. We were talking on the phone. I'm not emotionally attached to any of those, so I have a hard time remembering timing on anything.
Yeah,
like
I just happened to be looking at you while I was like, "What the hell did I make?" But yeah, every year I tend to build something, but every year I see something and I go, "Oh, I'm gonna make that."
Yep.
Like, or just kind of be stumbling around, moving things around, getting rid of stuff or whatever, and like I'll have inspiration. This year, dude, I have not had a chance to do any of that.
Yep.
I've had a few ideas, but none of them have been like,
Boom.
here's the thing you need to do.
Yep.
So I don't know. I'll get around. I'll figure out something, but I already know what I want to get her for Christmas, and she watches these, so I can't say it on here. But it's dope, and it's something she's already said she wants. But I found a way to get her like the best version of it.
Nice.
I'm hoping I can get it here by Christmas, because I've done so much looking into this thing now that I found there's a few different versions of it. And so since you already know what they are.
Ashley has one.
Okay.
Yeah. So she's... I can't say it. she's
here,
done.
I'm muting it. So you know what it is.
Yeah, and
cool.
they're cool.
Yeah.
It's very cool.
She said she wanted one like 6-7 months ago.
Nice.
And so I've been looking into them, and then I found like the be all end all version.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, oh. No, it doesn't have like all the things, because the big version of it's like $800 with like all the stuff.
And everything.
Well, it's not even all the attachments. All the things are there. It's all the materials and all that other stuff. If you get the big one that has like materials for every version of what you can do with it,
yep.
then it's like $700, I think, like $690, something like that. But if I get the same machine with less accoutrements all at once, it's like half that. Yeah. And then she can just buy what she wants to do after that.
And I know your wife, and she will absolutely love it.
So. Yeah, dude. She wanted one already, yeah. But a friend of ours has one. Now I don't know which. I think she's got the smaller one, and she was like, oh, I really want one of these. I was like, all right. And I was looking, and then she had this ridiculous list, because my wife is an amazing yet ridiculous human. She had this list that she was making, because I told her to make a list. I said, all the boys want to know what you want, and none of them understand you enough to like go out on their own and get you something. So make a list of things that you want. You live with 4 dudes. Like, yeah. I'm the only one of them that like gets you. So what do you want? She had electric stapler, electric electric can opener, because ours just died. There was like 2 other like ridiculous things on there, and I was like, no one in this house is buying you this. She's what? And I said, no one's gonna buy you an electric stapler. It's the dumbest thing to ask for. Just go buy one. Like, she's like, no, I don't want to just buy one. And I was like, no, you're being ridiculous. Just go buy one. No. They're what, $20? Like, just go find the one you want, because we're never gonna get the right one.
Yep.
There's gonna be something wrong with it, or no, just go buy it. Like electric can opener, just go buy one. Like the big appliances, I buy her. Like, but like the little, just go buy that thing. I'm not gonna go waste my time driving around town trying to find an electric can opener for $15.
Yeah.
No, just find one and buy it. Find it on Amazon, order it. I don't care where you get it from, just buy one. Yeah. Like, I want to buy you cool things. Like,
and I started something cool with my kids. I'll take them to the store, and I'll only take one at a time, and I have them pick out something for Jackie.
My dad did that when we were kids. Back when my parents were still married, so it wasn't for very long, but we did do that like for a Mother's Day and for a couple Christmases.
It's cool until you start seeing what they pick out, because they definitely shop for themselves still.
Yeah.
But I'm like, no, what would mom like? Mom likes Pokemon.
Mom loves Sonic.
Yes, exactly. Like, I'm like, come on, dude. What does mom like? I don't know. Us? And I'm like, Oh, you're right there.
Yeah, but she already has you. And she has 2 of you. She doesn't need another one.
Yeah, I'm actually struggling this year to find Jackie something. Because
Really?
normally I get her like a purse or something like that, but I seriously have gotten her so many purses and so much crap over the years that it's like that I can't keep doing that because then it's just duplicating stuff. It's like I her birthday I got like a huge Coach bag, and it's like I don't know nothing about them, but it's big, and I was like, oh, that's kind of like a small duffel bag almost, like to go
like a travel bag.
traveling. And I guess it's got a pouch in there for a laptop and stuff, though. I mean, I didn't open it. I don't know what the hell. But like, and she saw it and she loves it. Don't get me wrong. But I'm like, the next step up is like $500. Like, I'm done there. I crossed that line. So I gotta take a step back and find something else. And normally I find, like you said, like, I'll see something and I'm like, oh, that's it. Or she'll mention something. I'm like, oh, you asked for this 6 months ago, and I have not had any lights turn on in my brain, and maybe it's just because I'm old. I don't know.
Yeah, that's definitely a part of it for sure. But she buys all of her own bags. Well, I've bought her, I think 3 or 4 bags now. Generally, she kind of buys her own. But when she got her first pistol, is when I bought her first concealed carry purse. And I mean, I bought the damn pistol, but then I bought her the purse because she was like, oh, no, I want a purse. And we got a couple family members that carry concealed purses. So she already wanted one, but had no reason to have one before. And because most of my firearms are just way too big for her to be carrying a purse.
Yeah.
Because I mean, and then the couple of concealed ones, I'm not letting her have.
Yeah.
So like I got a custom Kimber that she very much wanted. I'm like, no, you're not. You can fire it when we go range day. Yeah. You're not carrying this. Like, so I bought her own Kimber, but before that I bought her the Taurus, and so got her the purse, and then like a year later, she wanted another one, slightly different style. So bought her one, and then I don't remember where we were at, because I think we were in maybe Colorado or something. We found another. Their Montana West is the brand, and found another, all genuine leather, like really well constructed, very nice. But they've all got the concealed pockets with the holster and everything like that. And so she wanted a different style. We found one, got it for her. I think she's bought a 4th one since then, but yeah, she's got like 4 or 5 Montana West bags. I've bought, I think, 3 of them. And then she's had coaches and stuff, but she's donated most of that stuff too. Yeah. Like she goes through probably once a year and just like purges stuff. That's good. And she's kind of a minimalist anyway. Because of her, I have more shoes than she does. Because I'm a Reebok guy. I stopped buying Nikes a long time ago, and I wear Reebok Classics. If she finds a good deal on them, she buys me like 2 pairs at a time. And then she's done that so much now that I've got quite a bit of shoes. But I've got 4 that are like really good for working out. 1 pair is like my everyday. I throw them on almost every day. But then I've got, they're not right now. Right now, dude, I'm wearing comfy shoes, bro. I'm done with my shit for the day. But I wear the 1 pair almost every day. And then I've got 3 different colored pairs of those. We were talking about this the other day. Yep. I've got like white ones that I wear to the Shaw Classic. That was her idea. And I was like, okay, that's the only time I'll wear them because I will destroy white shoes.
I can't have them.
And then she found me 2 more pairs that are different colors that she really liked and that she wanted me to have. And they were all super cheap. Yeah. And then she bought me the Tier cross trainers when we were in San Diego. And then I've got a bunch of work boots and stuff like that. But she's bought me a lot of shoes because every time she finds a great deal on shoes that she really likes, she just buys them for me. And she comes, oh, I got you more shoes. I'm like, damn it, I'm out of closet space. So the last time, a couple weeks ago, she was shopping, and I'm glad she asked me first because I really liked the look of the shoes. They were OD green and tan. I really liked them a lot, but I don't have any more space. Yeah. Like I'm all out of, there's more shoes than I ever thought I'd own at once. Like 4 pairs tended to be my, like how many I had at a time. Now I've got a whole bunch of them and I hardly ever get to wear them. She buys me dress shoes that I've worn like 2, maybe 3 times. And she loves it when I wear them. But I'm like, I'm not that guy. Nope. Like I have nice clothes. I do own nice clothes, but I think that's why it was like Dennis was kind of worried about me going golfing because he was like, dude, you don't have, I'm like, yeah, bro, like I golf.
Yeah.
Like I own all the right things to go golfing. Like
Yeah.
I don't have time to go golf a lot,
Oh.
but I do love golf. And I've got tons of polos. I've got slacks. Like I've got all that crap, but I'm not a salesman. I don't need slacks. So I've got a few pairs that I wear for specific things, and that's it. Like if someone wants me wearing slacks at a wedding, I have slacks so I can go to a wedding.
Well, I'm not a salesman either, but I have a lot of them. Oh, not a good one.
You're no longer a successful salesman.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm just there.
You're a work from home salesman.
Oh, such a pain in the ass. It's weird. I was home a lot more when Brian was here and we went to walk jobs more often than I am now. Because now I'll literally get those dumb phone calls and I'll have to run to one job site or another and drop stuff off or run and try to get payment from.
I heard about that.
Just like I'm literally like I leave and then they'll write me and be like, why aren't you at the office or why aren't you online? And I'm like,
because I'm doing my job.
Don't you want your salespeople in the field? Isn't that the whole point? And then I have to help everybody else still currently. So
I wish I could figure out how to do my job from home.
I honestly am excited to not be doing the other stuff here soon. I'm sure, just because I have a feeling I won't be getting that. But I'll be excited to go back just to sales because then I can actually focus on something instead of
make me money.
Yeah, I need to get you work.
Yeah, but not till next year. I don't need any work till next year. Yeah. My boss keeps trying to find me things to do. I'm like, bro, I've only got a few days left. You got to find someone else to do that.
Yeah. Well, from the 22nd, no, 21st on, I think I'm off. So I don't know.
Start mine soon, bro. Can't wait.
I still have 5-6 days, so I'm feeling really under the weather today.
Yeah, man. You need to get sick and come over here and hang out, make some videos. Try to get. So Chadwick's ready to go. I was got to let him know what days, and then hopefully he'll be able to come over. Troy, he's going to be able to come over, I think, after the 14th, from Array is what he said. So
nice.
He'll have to let me know what day. Hopefully he'll be available on a Sunday, because then you and Chadwick are both available on Sunday. We all come over here.
Yep.
If not during the week's fine for me. It's just, I'm sure you could weasel away.
Yeah, well,
I don't know what Chadwick's days off are. And Troy, generally speaking, is pretty free. Like, unless they got something big going on at his work, he's pretty fluid. And he's off starting like the week after me or something like that. Like, I think I got like a week and a half off more than he does, something like that. And then he can come hang out. But I think if Chadwick's here, I think Troy will make it a point to be able to make it, which would be pretty rad. But something we were talking about the last time you were here, and I thought about it yesterday because I was cruising around the valley yesterday.
Okay.
Which is why all this is here and stuff, because I went and picked up all my old RCs from my dad's house.
Nice.
So
let me pause you for just a second. Do you still have your stuff out at that one guy's house that I helped you move it out to in that shed?
No.
No, you moved it all out? Okay.
Yeah, that stuff's been out of there for a while.
I was thinking maybe your Pokemon cards were in there, but maybe not. Sorry.
Yeah. No, I think they're at my dad's house.
Okay.
But because I still have more than I thought I did out there, which sucked realizing, because I thought I got most of it. And so my big reason so I went out there yesterday to lay eyes on what I've got there, figure out what's going on, because I'm about to buy another shed for my wife for all of her holiday decorations, because we have totes and totes and totes. Name a holiday, my wife has an entire house full of accoutrement for it. So I'm going to buy her own shed, put it over here outside of the gym, and that's her shed.
And tie her up in it. I'm just kidding.
So, yeah, right.
I'm sorry.
Damn it. Why didn't I think of that? That was good. So that's going to be her shed full of her stuff. And hopefully our camping gear fits in it too. Just so I don't have to go like through the shop, through the gym to get it whenever we need it. And if it's closer, we might be able to go camping more. So I'm going to get her that, and then I'm going to go through and redo the shelving that I've got out here, and then start bringing that stuff over. So, because I've still got to bunch of my collectibles and stuff over there. So anyway, so I'm headed out to Dad's house, and I drive by your childhood home.
Okay.
Looks really nice, dude.
Oh yeah, no,
Like,
way nicer
dude.
than when we moved in, and it was brand new.
but nicer than after you moved out.
Yes. For
So you mentioned a story the last time you were here, and it made me think of this yesterday. I was like, if Nick comes tomorrow, he needs to talk about this.
Okay.
So talk about your childhood home.
What about it though? Like, what are you looking for?
What I think you were going to mention was that what you were going to talk about?
Yeah, we did talk about that last
Well,
time.
no. Well,
We didn't
you
get
know,
it on
you
video.
mentioned it. You were like, dude, next time, because the snake video. So he's been bitten by a rattlesnake.
Yes.
And he came over and told the whole story.
We'll have to do
and
that in another time.
Streamlabs, for some reason, hardly recorded any video. So I don't use Streamlabs for much anything anymore. All of this is being downloaded right onto my hard drive as we're recording. So I can trust it. So then you mentioned, you're like, bro, next time I come on, I could tell the story of my house. And I was like, that's genius. And I saw it yesterday. It's a good looking house.
It is. Now,
Yeah.
whoever bought it from the bank, because long story short, my parents lost their house for no reason of my mom's. And
Your dad lost the house.
And it went to crap, and it's out in Marana. So
It's way out in Ever Valley.
My mom was also, I'm going to say hoarder, and a lot of people are like, oh, that's not that bad. Like,
No.
Hoarder status. We had a 4-bedroom house. You went in the front door, there was a living room and a formal dining room. To the left was my parents' room with their, it froze.
Oh, no.
I'm going to pause.
What did I do?
I'm going to try
It's
to,
never happened on here.
I'm going to try to be in the same position. See if it works.
No. What happened? I got in the way and it threw it off or something?
I guess.
Dude, nuts. Oh, it should still be recording.
I think it is, but
Yeah, we'll get this figured out real quick. Dude, right after I say all my problems are solved and I got no more issues. Look at that. Streamlabs is screwing with me. Bastards.
nailed
We're
it.
back.
So my parents' bedroom was the left, and then you go through the living room living room, family room, whatever it was, turn right, and there was kitchen to the left, family room to the right, and then 3 bedrooms at the end, along with bathroom and laundry room on the left-hand side. So when we
Giant double wide.
it was a big house.
Just big.
When we moved my mom's stuff out, I had filled 2 entire bedrooms, floor to ceiling, with garbage of stuff that they were leaving. Now, I was the only one out there, but literally floor to ceiling, and then you'd have like a cascade to the door, and as soon as I couldn't get it in the door anymore, I moved to the next bedroom. And then the 3rd bedroom had some of that, but all of the furniture and tons of boxes that were like, hey, I didn't have to move this to get to that, were still throughout the house. Like, that's how much stuff they had. It was insane how much stuff they had. And it took me 3 weeks to go through it, and I had very minimal help. Shout out to Kevin and Ashley, because they did come out for one entire day. It was the last day I was out there, and I don't know if I could have done it without them, because it was the last day we had. But we got rid of so much stuff, and I still took 2 sheds worth of stuff, 2 8x10 sheds full of stuff out of that house that ended up getting destroyed at my brother's house. But that's another story. So it was this big, huge house that it went to crap. So the back 3 bedrooms are full of junk, all of us. Goes back to the bank. I'm, long story short, I'm my dad's power of attorney for reasons you can look up online.
Freedom of information. I can't even say it.
Damn them. I know. And so I'm my dad's power of attorney. I deal with it. Let the bank take it back. Everything's good to go. About 6 or 7 months later, I get a random call from Marana PD, and they're like, "Hey, are you Raymond Peterson?" I'm like, "No, but I'm the power of attorney." Blah blah. They're like, "Okay, well, we really need you or somebody to come out to your house." And I was like, "What house? I don't own one. I know my parents don't own one. Like, what are you talking about?" They're like, "Yeah, 119, blah blah blah." They say the address. I was like, "Okay, why?" And they're like, "We just need somebody to come out here." And I'm like, all right, cool. I was actually leaving work, so I called my girlfriend, wife now, but girlfriend at the time was like, hey, I got to go out to Marana, apparently. Drive all the way out there. I get there, and there is like 4 or 5 cop cars, 3 SWAT teams, and with just full of turtle suits everywhere, people in back of cars, no idea who these people are. And they're like, and by the way, we didn't have a fence. There is now a fence around the entire thing. And it's a nice fence.
Oh
surprisingly.
yeah, dude. They've got like the full they get the full treatment now.
Yeah,
it's a little over an acre.
And the bank still owns it at this point, technically. And apparently my parents said they never took it out of their name, so that's what the weird part was. But full fence around it, about 60 cameras everywhere, like just camera after camera, some on the ends of the fence. Like it was super weird. There was a stairs to get in the front, and they had like taken and jumbled up the stairs, and they were all jacked up. Like it looked like it had been abandoned for 6 months.
You had like a whole front like patio deck with a ramp and stairs and benches built in.
No more. All that was gone. They had like just jumbled up pieces of wood there with stuff falling all apart.
Dude, the church did a really cool job building that back in the day.
They did. And so I was like, okay, what's going on? Why am I here? And he's like, your house has been turned into a meth house. And I was like, what? And he's like, yeah, apparently
Walter White lives here.
Yeah, pretty much. Oh no, dude, it was definitely Walter White's competition. the not the good ones. But he actually took me in the house and let me walk, and
house is missing a lot of teeth.
No bathrooms anymore. They're both both tubs are for meth, and one toilet had fallen through the floor. The other one was disconnected and laid to the side, so no idea where they went to the bathroom.
So
it smelled like everywhere. But
dude, and there were always cars out there.
All the junk was still there, though. That's the weird part. Like I don't even know where these
stuff
people
was still in the rooms.
All the stuff was still in the rooms. Like the furniture was there, but it was like now. I mean, it looked like people had beaten the crap out of it and laid on it, and it's fallen apart. And I was just like, oh my gosh, this is so terrible. And the guy's like, what do you want me to do? And I was like, absolutely nothing. It's not mine. It's the bank's. I don't have anything to do with it. I'm gonna go home now. So I just left.
Dude, and who was it that had the story that knew about the people that were in there or something? No, they called John. Someone called John weeks before that because he was telling me the story. But damn, it's been so long, I don't remember the details. But your brother was telling me that he got a weird phone call from somebody weeks before and found out that it was a drug house before the cops did. Damn it, I wish I could remember these details because he went to that house down the street.
So I knew that people were living in the house.
Yeah.
But I didn't, and I knew people were selling drugs there, but I didn't know why.
Because I think your brother had actually shown up there to threaten somebody like a week before the cops raided.
Me and Kevin did.
Was it you and Kevin?
Yeah, because Kevin, so our friend Kevin's mom had her house broken into and she had her jewelry stolen. So me and Kevin drove around and went to, I mean, it's Marana. You just stop every third door and there's a meth house. So you just
it is Methville, USA. It's the reason we don't live out in the valley anymore.
But it's pretty obvious to tell. I mean, when there's like 12 cameras out front just pointing in one spot, you kind of assume. So we stopped.
And if there's 7 partially destroyed cars in the driveway. And
so we actually did stop there and talked to those guys.
But didn't you stop at the house?
James Early's house, the one that was a couple houses down from ours across the street. Well, his old house, I don't think James lives there anymore.
Probably not.
But tons and tons of houses. We stopped at like 7 or 8 houses. We found the jewelry. And they gave it back to us happily. They were just like, oh, these meth heads took it from you. We're so sorry. Here you go. And I did not expect it to go that way. They were very polite drug dealers.
God, dude, I hate... Well, no, they just didn't want any trouble showing up at their door. Yeah, they weren't polite.
Well, there was trouble showing up at the door anyways, because Kevin's not... I know Kevin's an odd person sometimes, and I love the guy to death, but he's not the guy you want to pick a fight with because he knows a lot of people too. And especially out in Marana, because his brother and everybody were so tight, they were on baseball teams, and all of those families still live out there. You don't really want to mess with them.
Yeah, when you hear stories about the South and all the like backwoods boys,
kind of
like that's the valley.
Yeah.
Like I still know too many people out there. I don't know who's still out there like of everybody. Every time I'd go do anything out there, so like we did trunk or treat at the school, at Roadrunner Elementary, which
Holy
is
cow.
where we went. Dude, it is a lot is the same, and then there's some differences because actually, so a friend of ours like runs the trunk or treat out there. She was a teacher. I don't think she works there anymore and she homeschools her kids, but she's still like involved a lot with like the parent teacher stuff. That's and all that. She's still very involved in the community. And they're awesome people. Her husband's like the most quiet, like reclusive dude in the world. And it's weird because he's a business owner. So he's an electrical contractor, like owns his own business. And like, how exactly do you like fix things if you don't ever talk to anybody? But he's a really nice guy.
Well, that's you.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, that's
anyway.
true. That is very true. So we go there. She asked us to be a part of it. Well, my wife volunteered us. I'm like, yay, 2 trunk or treats back to back, like Friday night and Saturday night.
Super excited.
Yay, me. And they're way out in the valley. Woohoo. Like, and I took the dually for the second one because the dually was the Noah's Ark. So I was like, well, we can't do that out of the Jeep. And I sure as hell wasn't taking the Suburban out there. So like loaded up all these big ride-on animals and stuff in the bed of the truck. It was really cool. People, especially the kids who knew about Noah's Ark, loved it. But the first night we went out there in the Jeep and we made it the Mystery Machine. So we had Shaggy and Scooby. Like she was Scooby, I was Shaggy. And then we had all these pop-ups of everything else. Kids freaking loved it. The whole time I'm out there, though, I'm just like, oh, who the hell am I going to see out here? Like, I always get nervous about who I'm going to run into. Like, if we need gas when we're out there and we stop at the gas station, I'm always, like, looking around to see if I know it because I don't want to be recognized out in the valley by anybody.
Yeah, there's a lot of people out there I don't want to
like,
talk to.
Dude, there's one day, and it was... So I went through a nasty divorce, and during that nasty divorce, like, started hanging out with a lot of people and like partying all the time and stuff, just to like not be by myself. And like did a lot of our dance house, went to your place a lot. But I partied with Aaron and Jimmy and his brother. So they hit me up one night. They're like, dude, come hang out. So I went, like, I picked up a case of beer on the way there. Like, this is back when I was still like just into
mid-20s.
Yeah, like I was like mid-20s and like going through the worst of it all, and like really wasn't in the church, and I wasn't really like,
you weren't in a good place.
Yeah, no. So but I wasn't as bad as I'd been in my early 20s or in teens. So I wasn't like full tilt bad, but I wasn't great either. So I was like, cool. So pick up a case of beer, go over there, hang out with them, and then wake up the next morning to my phone ringing, my ex-wife just arguing with me about something stupid. So I leave where everyone else is still asleep, and I just take off, and I go to get gas, and I've got like $20 left in my wallet. So someone there like stole money out of my wallet while I was asleep. And I was like, yeah, I'm done hanging out with these people. Like, I can't go back to hanging out with anyone from the valley. And like 6 or 8 months later, I was in the valley. I'd already moved out. But I was out there doing something, like leaving Dad's house for something, stopped at the gas station, and I ran into like Jimmy and a bunch of, he's like, Randy, like, give me a big hug and stuff. And it's always weird that like as adults, he liked me a lot, because it's like teenagers and stuff. The dude was ruthless to me.
Yeah.
He
was a lot meaner of a person to everybody, but I know what you mean because I watched it. Like, he was never really super mean to me, but he's like Kevin. Kevin gave you a lot of heck.
Oh, dude, he was one of my big bullies, dude. Yeah. Until like junior high, he didn't really screw with me anymore as much. Like a little bit, but not as bad. Like there were certainly times, and like in high school, there were times. But I think he realized like he wasn't affecting me.
Yeah.
Like now as an adult,
I don't even know if he realized he was doing it, to be honest.
Could be.
And I don't think Jimmy did either. I think that was just their personality.
Well, Jimmy wasn't as bad to me because he couldn't stand James. Like, dude, he was so rough on James. And because I was tight with James, like until I got hooked on drugs, and I saw him at Trunk or Treat. That was interesting.
James?
Yeah. So, and that's what I'm talking about, dude. Like when I see someone that I used to run with or people that I never liked before, Like, and I'm in a good place now, so I'm not like prone to like trying to get into fights with nobody or nothing like that. Like, all that's behind me. I don't feel like having any problems in my life.
Yeah.
Including randomly running into someone who then wants to hang out later, who I have to be like, nah, I'm good, bro. Like, we are not going to hang out. Like, I don't want to be a jerk and just completely blow someone off, but I also don't want to be like, yeah, we'll totally hang out, because I saw Cheeto. He didn't like come by. Like, I just saw him. So I was like, oh, thank God. But then I saw James, and I was talking to his mom for a minute, and then I realized who she was. And then I saw him standing there. And I don't know if they recognized me, but I mean, I'm also twice the size. Yeah. Half my face is covered. And I was wearing like a very thick freaking toupee. I was wearing a wig to look like Shaggy.
Trumping it up.
Yeah. Hair flapping. Dude, I wish, bro. It was like stuck down. I wish that thing would have flapped in the breeze a little bit. It was hot. But yeah, man, like every time I'm out in the valley, but yeah, Kevin bullied me ruthlessly. And I've thought about it a little bit, like over the years. I've never like dwelled on it for long periods of time, but there was a time I definitely had, like, I've always had a complex about being a small person, which is why I like being well over 200 pounds. Like, I like being big. Just because when I was small, everyone bullied me. Yeah. And like, I hated every second of it. Dude. So like, when we were talking the other day about like, you had this huge complex when you were heavy. I've always had a complex about being skinny. Like, I've always hated being the light guy. Like, it never felt good. Like, even though I was always average height. Yeah. I was always really skinny. And for whatever reason, I've always had a target where people just like to pick on me and make fun of me. Like, now I don't, for the last like 15 years, I'm like, do whatever, say whatever you want, dude. I don't care. Like, you're never going to phase me. But for a long time, like, that stuff really affected me. Oh, I know. So like, Kevin being tall, like picking on me, and I've thought about it, and I think it bothered him how tight you and I were.
That's a good possibility.
Because the year before I showed up, you and him became friends, because you moved there 1 year before me. You and him became good buddies. And then when I showed up, you and I became friends immediately. And I think that pissed him off. Yeah. Like,
well, I also think,
but you're right. He probably wasn't aware of it. I mean, because now when I see him, he's all happy to see me. Like, I hang out with him and stuff whenever we're around.
Yeah. And I think a lot of it was too, is people could get a rise out of you easier than me. And,
oh, for sure.
And that's because you got angrier faster. And I really can't remember that many times in my life even really getting angry. And I can name a handful of times in junior high where I was like you. So I think he would say the same things to me at points, not always, but he'd say the same things to me, but I just would not care. And I would be like I think I was more oblivious. I'm not saying anything good or bad between us. I think I was honestly more oblivious at the time. Like,
that he was trying to.
He said that I'm small. He's right, and I would just move on with life. But I didn't realize he was even picking on us at some times, and I think that is why I didn't care as much, is because I really didn't know. But I definitely think he did it more towards you because it affected you. So again, I don't even know if he realized he did it until later on.
He was definitely doing it though. Yeah. But like, he would target me, like when we would play football. Like, he'd target me. Oh yeah. Like, so
he did all of us things, small dude. Kids. Mike Barnett got it bad when he was around us.
Yeah, he did.
That kid, he
like
was
we jabberjawed. Yeah, we jabberjawed him a bit, but we were never really like mean to him. Yeah. Like, I look back and I'm like, yeah, there were times I was definitely. I never consider myself a bully because I can't stand bullies. Now, there was probably some bullish behavior from time to time, trying to compensate for being the guy who always got bullied. Yeah. So, like, I threw weight I didn't have around a couple of times in life.
I did that too. And it did not end up well for me several times.
Well, see, and for me, like, once I had my first fight, like, because I grew up, me and this one kid back before I moved out to the Valley when I was still in Sarita, me and this one kid, Matt Batman, if you're out there, bro, what's up? I hope you're doing well in life. And with that last name, you sure as hell better be. But me and him were really good friends, but both very competitive. Mm-hmm. And so, like, kickball, we'd be playing kickball at recess, and one of us would like get the other guy out, and it would turn into a rolling on the ground, punching, like legit fighting. But we're in first and second grade, so it's not like an insane fight, but we were on the ground, like over the top fighting each other. But I wouldn't consider those like yeah, they were my first real fights because they were real. Like we were getting suspended for a day, and like we had torn shirts and bloody lips and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But you're kids, like you're made of rubber. The next day we're friends again.
Mm-hmm.
Like none of it mattered. So then my first like fight where I'd been getting picked on for years at that stupid school. So it's also weird to go back to Roadrunner because it's not a lot of good memories out of that.
It was a weird school for us.
Yeah, dude, it was a weird time. But my first like fight was in 6th grade, and that was the day I realized like, oh, I'm not made of glass.
Mm-hmm.
Like, oh, I just got punched, like for real punched by someone way bigger than me, Matlack. Because Matlack punched a dude was as big as Cavan. He was actually heavier than Cavan.
And that kid got picked on more than anybody
Oh,
I know.
dude,
I don't even know why. He wasn't a bad guy.
It's because he was new. That's how brutal that school was, man. Like this school was toxic.
I actually liked
like,
Brian.
Dude, me too. What screws me up is he was because I mean, I've always been a Denver fan my whole life. Denver fan. As a Manning thing here, Denver stuff all over my property. I'm a huge Denver
Love
fan.
soccer.
Yeah, he's so great at sports ball, but it's the only football team I've ever cared for, and so I got picked on ruthlessly for years because they sucked, and then they win back-to-back championships, and all of a sudden I'm having to be careful not to let my jackets get stolen because kids want to steal them.
Or girls.
Well, then and then he shows up, and he's a Denver fan,
Mm-hmm.
and it like set me off because I'm like, no, dude, I'm the Denver fan here.
You go away.
You go away. You don't get to hang out in our group of friends. Like, so I mean, it was petty. Like, I was definitely being a petty, yeah, and everyone else was. And he was super nice. Like, he was a sweetheart of a guy, but he got bullied because he was the new guy, and I finally wasn't the one getting the bullying. So, like, I definitely turned it around. I'm not proud of it.
I watched that kid. He was peeing, and Derek Pacina came in the bathroom behind him and kicked him in the back so
I
hard.
remember you telling me about this.
And it, like I watched him like fold forward and hit the wall, and then Derek bounced his head off the thing, and I was like, I'm out of here. Like, I don't want any part of this. I don't even know why you guys are fighting.
Yeah, I remember you telling me about that.
Kid, I felt bad for him,
dude. Like, yeah, it sucked. And I was I never did that. Like, I never did anything insane like that. But me and him, like I don't even remember what we were fighting about. But me and him were getting into it. And then so one day at recess, we went out and he shoved me. So I shoved him back. And then I got him up against a fence. Like, I kept shoving him until he hit that fence, separating where we would play the game that me, James, and Kalana came up with. The like almost like Smear the Queer, but there was no football really.
Yeah.
You just like run from one end up to another and everyone's trying to get the flag off you.
Yep.
Because me and James weren't good enough to play football. I mean, I was good enough to play football, but everyone bullied the shit out of me, so I didn't go.
Plus, we were like the smallest one, so when we did get hit, we got hurt.
Yeah.
And
so
I stopped playing.
So then Kalana started playing. You know, one day me, James, and Kalana were hanging out, and we started just doing this. One person running from one end to another with a flag on, and you try to catch the flag. Like, so they just turned into like flag football without a football, and you're just trying to get from one end to the other.
Mm-hmm. Whoever got it got to do the run next
Yeah,
time. Yep,
exactly. So the three of us came up with that game. So then we were out there doing that, and something happened in that game, and me and Matlack just locked horns, and I got him up against the fence, and like he got me good, dude. Like, chinned me hard. I was like, oh, well, all right then, we're not shoving anymore. And I got inside, and because I'm smaller than him, I got inside, just started lacing him up. And he got to the point where he's just trying to hug me. But because he's so much taller, he's just hugging my shoulders. So I can still move my arms. And I'm just bap, 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 just feeding the inside, dude. And I was like, all right, like I'm bulletproof. Like, no one can hurt me. That dude's one of the biggest kids here.
Mm-hmm.
And he just chinned me hard. I didn't hit the ground. Like, I kept feet. I was like, oh, okay, like I can fight. Like, sweet. All right then. I'm not afraid of like Pacina or anyone else anymore.
Yeah.
I
was still a little afraid of Pacina, but
only because he's a bit of a dude. I've seen him, like, I haven't seen him in a while now, but I saw him back then, like after high school and everything, and after I started getting bigger. I saw him at like a Walmart one day, and I was like, "Oh, dude, I bet I could fire off on you." Yeah. Like, I'm not afraid of you anymore. I'm way bigger than you.
I was always afraid of him because he was so
violent.
Well, he got violent quick, but he would like switch all the time. Like
You go from being your boy, what's up, Pete? What's up?
To 2 minutes later, literally just punching you. Like, he didn't even say a word. He hasn't talked to anybody. He's been sitting in a corner. Like, I didn't get it. I have no problems with him. I mean, me and him got in a yelling match one time, and I thought I was going to get laid out for sure. But other than that, I mean, and we got stopped by him
and all those dudes.
All those dudes tried jumping us outside of Marana Park.
Yeah, remember little Abrams?
Yeah,
sitting in the truck, just looking like that. I'm like, dude, don't step out. Like, I'll fire off on you.
Yep.
Dude, for no reason, dude. It was something Jeremy did.
Yeah,
Jeremy did something.
No, he thought I was sleeping with Marissa.
Oh, is that what it was?
Yeah, their cousin, and I never did. I never did. I kissed her the one time.
I made out with her a bunch of times.
It was after that, to be fair. But other than it was all that because it was the same time that he yelled at me in the classroom, because that's all it was about. But Cade was, at least, I mean, I love Cade. I've always loved Cade. I actually ran into Cade a couple years ago when we were on the bowling league, and me and him, we've always got along. And without Cade, I think I would have had the floor would have been mopped with my face. So I appreciate you, Cade.
Did you ever see this? Yeah, he was the only Pacina. Well, I had one problem with one because he robbed me.
No,
but like, I was in the darker days of my life story anyway, so it was like, and then I ran into him a few years later. I gave him a ride.
Oh.
He was hitching rides, and I gave him a ride, and then it was Junior. So he was like,
Junior was a good guy most of the time. He had his moments.
Well, he was knee deep in drugs, and that's when I was still in the drug scene. So things just kind of went sideways, and like, but I was driving one day, and I was like, just out in the valley and stopped. I've given a few people rides. I mean, I haven't, not a long time, but at that time, I gave a handful of people rides. I'm like, yeah, dude, get in. Like, I'm not worried about anything. It's like, hey, dude, where you going? Oh, I'm going up here. I'm like, oh, cool, dude, get in. Like, oh, thanks, man. And then just BSing. And then he like, I didn't recognize him right away.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, hey, bro, where you going? And he was like, oh, I'm going so-and-so. And I'm like, cool, dude, you want to ride? I'll hop in. And he was like, cool. And he hopped in. And then we're BSing. And he's like, wait a minute. Are you? And I'm like, yeah. And he's like, oh, dude, how you been? Like, everything was friendly. And I was like, yeah, man, how's things for you? And he's like, oh, it's all good. I'm like, cool. He's like, hi, bro, thanks for a ride. Good seeing you. And then off he went.
Yeah.
Like, haven't had any issues since, but I'm,
But I don't like going out to Miranda much either, just because you do always run into those
dirty,
people.
bro.
But I honestly, even like the Walmart right here off Cortero, like,
I was there yesterday.
Yeah,
I was doing the same thing in there. I'm like, keep my head on a swivel.
I've ran into people in there, and they do the same thing. They're like, oh, I want to hang out. And I don't really have anybody that I hate from high school.
Bro, I'm all friended up.
Yeah, like, I've got no beefs with anybody. There's a couple of people that I'm not insanely happy with, but if I ran into them, I'm not mad. Like, I don't want to be a part of their lives.
I would bet money 90% of the people we went to school with wouldn't recognize me.
Probably not. I don't know if any of them would recognize me either.
I think so, because you're not much different. Yeah. Like,
if I grew a beard, maybe.
Yeah, like when you grow facial hair, like, probably, but otherwise you're generally, I mean, you're even like, you're a little heavier than you were, but not like a lot. Like, and you hang out with enough of the same people that I think most people would still recognize you.
Yeah.
Maybe. I stopped going to that school 2 years before you did.
True.
So there's already got a 2-year gap. Plus, I'm a lot heavier than I was the last time any of those people saw me.
And also, to be fair, a lot of the people you were hanging out with that would recognize you, I don't even know their names, because you were into some stuff that I was never into. So there's a lot more people you may not want to run into.
The Lord saved me. Like, the Lord definitely saved me from myself. Yeah, I was running with all the wrong people. All the people your parents don't want you hanging out with, I found all of them. I'm a magnet for the wrong people.
And I'm lucky my mom loves absolutely everybody. Otherwise, she would have stopped me from hanging out with this guy.
That's true. But I didn't get into my like chaos really until we weren't hanging out as much anymore.
Yeah.
Once I changed schools, that's like, I wasn't a good student, but I wasn't really into the nonsense until they moved me schools. So I never got like, I didn't get like, what's it, expelled, not, is it expelled?
It's expelled.
Yeah. Like, I was never expelled. Like, it's not like Miranda was like, hey, you can never step foot in our doors again. I was a problem student because I was a slacker. Like, I enjoyed hanging out with people. By the time I hit high school, I was very popular. We were talking about this the other day. We were We were the cool kids club. And I didn't really notice it at the time how popular we were. Like we were talking about this the other day.
Mm-hmm.
Neither one of us realized we were at that level where everyone in school knew who we were. But we definitely ran in the crowd.
Yeah,
like
junior high for sure.
Junior high started for sure, dude. Like junior high, we were the cool kids club. Everywhere you and I went, people wanted to go.
Yeah.
Like it was very bizarre because in grade school,
Nobody wanted to hang out
you
with
had way more friends than I did, but it's not like we could get people to come over to our house.
Yeah, like I had friends like and again,
The same
nothing
dudes we hang out with now. Really.
Brandon Busby. Do you remember him?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I liked Brandon a lot in elementary school and stuff, but I don't really think he ever came over to my house. I think I always had to go to his.
Yeah, dude.
I think it was just that
like,
weird. It was a weird relationship.
Well, and then like the sports kids didn't hang out with us, like like through grade school outside of like Kevin.
Yeah.
And then in junior high, Dan. Other than that, we didn't. But then once we get to junior high, we blossomed, became very popular, hanging out with everybody, doing everything. We were always in the mix, and all that ran to my head in high school. Because we stayed getting bigger through high school, and I was more about hanging out and having a good time than studying anything. Yeah. But I was also at the darkest because my dad was married to a terrible person. We lived hell and gone from anybody out on a farm. Mm-hmm. I had new siblings I couldn't stand being around. Like I hated everything about my life except for hanging out at school. So I tried to maximize all of my time away from my family and just have a good time. Like I don't want to work. I want to like everything else about life sucks. This is the only place I can go to have a good time.
And you living on a farm really sucked because I would go over there and like I'd go to my house and I'd have chores, like normal chores. You'd
sweep,
do your laundry, sweep,
yeah.
like the kids' chores, and then go to his house and it's like move those hay bales over there. And I'm like, I weigh less than the hay bale.
Mucking out pig pens and
feeding the animals without like when they had the truck and they would let us ride behind the truck and just throw the flakes off, like that was cool. But when they were just like, hey, you need to go feed the cows,
manual
and we're
labor.
Like, you know that's like a piece of hay, like, and I have to take 500 of them back and forth. Like, I don't know how that works, but all right.
Yeah, that was. I mean, it
was a lot more than normal. As well,
yeah, so. Dude, it was a lot of labor.
Yeah,
and that's what was expected out of me. I was the oldest. I was a boy.
You're a boy.
I'm a boy. Was born a boy. It's probably gonna get this whole video is coming down now because of that one joke. But like a lot was expected of me, and like especially as I became a teenager and started getting bigger, I'm like, this sucks so bad. I hate everything about this. I never get to see my friends. I wasn't allowed to go like to big parties and stuff like that. Like I hated everything about it. But then in high school, like I really ran with the people like me. I just ran with that. So that's when we're like, oh, there's a party. Yeah, we're going. Like I'm not doing any homework. I'm not studying anything. Let's just keep going. So my grades sucked. So they took all the people that were falling behind because in their mind, we were slow. We were slow learners. I'm not a slow learner. I just had no interest. Like had zero interest in doing any of this. So they started a new school that the first year I was the first year of this school. It's still a thing. I found that out the other day. So MCAT in the first year, there was only 75 students, and it was all of the idiots from two schools. And I say idiots because we didn't care about school. So they take all those people, and I was talking to him about this a couple weeks ago, and Dad's like, that's not what it was supposed to be. Basically, they took all the criminals from two schools and put them in one school, and these are two rival schools. We would go to the football game and fight each other. Like, we hated each other.
Every game.
And now you take the same guys who fought each other last year at the football games and make them share classroom. So that's when like my criminology and bad boy lifestyle really like went over the top. Like I thought I was popular at a big school. I was considered a ringleader at this school. Like I almost got expelled a couple of times because other people did things and the principal tried pinning it on me. She thought I was no good.
You weren't.
Yeah, I really wasn't. But I wasn't. It took a while for me to get, but it was all of her. Like it, I don't mean to like blame it on her, but looking back on it, having the principal and teachers put that on you and accuse you of that all the time, it definitely furthers the negative path you're going to go down.
For sure.
So all these teachers and everyone expected me. They were like calling me in all the time. Oh, well, so-and-so did this. Like, you had to be a part of it. I'm like, what are you talking about? Like, I don't hang out with that dude. But it didn't matter because I was considered like an influencer in the school. And there was like 6 of us that were on like this
tier.
Yeah. And we were watched like hawks because they thought that the politics of the school swayed by what we would say and do.
Probably did.
Looking back on it, probably did. At the time, I didn't see it that way. At the time, I was like, what are you talking about? Like, this is insane.
Well, I even remember certain classes. Like, what was that class that you link crew where the seniors or juniors took care of the freshmen?
Oh, okay.
So I know what you're talking about. You weren't there for that, but
yeah, but I know what you're talking about.
So when I was in that, honestly, I felt like that's how it was a lot with me because I set like a weird standard. Like I loved hanging out with the freshmen and doing stuff with them and teaching them and like getting them out of their shell. I had a couple of them after high school be like, "Oh man, I remember you. It was so great. Like you helped me open up and talk and
and get past the nervousness."
But I would just show up and be like, "All right, everybody, let's go out to the football field." And they'd be like, okay, and they'd get out there, and I just start pelting them with water balloons, and there's just a whole bunch of water balloons all around. Like we just had a whole bunch of fun, but then that got other people to do that stuff, and I felt like when I started to do something, because at first it was
you were setting the standard,
yeah,
you were setting the tone,
and I feel like because I was never told what to do. As a matter of fact, whoever my teacher was at the time, I'm very sorry because I never even showed up on time for class. I was always late, and Alicia Orozco was my partner. And I'm very sorry to you too, because I would just show up when class started and not the 15, 20 minutes before and pay attention to anything we were supposed to do. And anything the teacher ever told us to do, either Alicia told them how to do it or I just made up whatever I wanted to do and we did it.
This is like
because it was a lot of fun though.
It was like the early 2000s apology tour.
I have a lot more to go. Sorry.
So people. Mrs. Hillig, I apologize for my behavior. Mrs. Stevens, I apologize for my behavior.
But it was
Mr.
fun.
Gerba, you definitely deserved better.
Well, Alicia never seemed like she cared. At least, like she kind of let me just go with it, and I don't know if that was her letting me go with it or me just like running the show without asking. I'm sorry if that's what it was again, but it was a lot of fun, and we did a lot of cool games, and we just ran outside and like we did fun stuff, and I remember that. But I feel like that's what it is like you get those 1 or 2 people, and that was just a single class, but it's like probably the most influential one for me. But in your school where there's only 75 people, you probably had 5-6 people that whatever
we set the tone.
Yeah, set the tone.
And I didn't mean to. It happened to be well, like it was me and Blake for Marana.
I got a couple minutes left, just so you know.
Okay. Like me and Blake, we set the tone for the Marana guys. Yeah. And then it was like a whole clique of Mountain View guys. And a couple of them, we didn't like each other, like at the beginning, but a couple of the other dudes, like we immediately got along with. So in order to settle, this sounds so ridiculous, but started a fight club. And I know it sounds dumber than it probably should, but it's legit. So at Marana, we found that between the new gym building, because they were building a gym when we were there in sophomore year, they were building the new gym, and between that and the old cafeteria, there was this old alleyway that no one really went down through lunch. And in part of the group that I hung out with a lot during lunch, like we'd play wall ball and stuff like that. Well, one of these dudes started bringing boxing gloves.
Greg.
And we decided that we were going to settle differences boxing. And I think we talked about this the first video we did, maybe.
We did a little bit.
But we would box. And that's how you settle differences. So that way people weren't getting suspended for fighting. If you got caught, you just be like, oh no, we're not fighting. We're sparring. We're just screwing around.
Yeah.
It was easier to not get arrested.
You still got in trouble for it?
But not, you weren't getting arrested. You weren't getting kicked out of school.
I got in trouble with Greg once. So that's why I know he started or bought the gloves.
Yeah. So, and that's me and Greg fought, and that's Greg. I stunned that dude because he realized I could box, and he thought his size could just overpower anybody. And I'm like, no, I know how to box.
It overpowered the heck out of me, dude. He just punched me and I'd go flying like 3 feet.
Yeah. Well, yeah, but like it didn't stop me from fighting. Like he
No.
hit me, but I mean, I was used to getting hit by Dan.
Yeah.
And, like I was used to getting hit by big dudes, so it didn't phase me.
Yeah. It
Like,
didn't stop
it would
you, but-
physically move me.
Yeah.
But that was about it. So, and it screwed him up that I was starting to tag him on the chin, and he'd be like, "What the hell?" And I'm like, "Yeah, dude, I know how to box." So I took that, and when I went to MCAT, instead of getting arrested and suspended for fighting, which happened all the time,
Mm-hmm.
Blake lived just 5 minutes down the road, and we were all allowed to leave for lunch. So when the whole school leaves, you just like talking to somebody, you just put the word out there on the network, just be like, "Hey man, we got problems. Let's go to Blake's house and handle it." And that way you could go relieve the anxiety of the problem, and no one's really hurt.
Yeah.
Like you get some bruised ribs or whatever, but you're not getting like, nothing's coming down to like weapons and stupid stuff.
Yeah.
So we'd go to Blake's house, and it started off with Hulk hands, because the original Hulk gloves had these bars that ran through the middle of them to hold on to, and you could fight with those. The newer ones suck, but the originals were dope, and they were a lot bigger. So we were wearing Hulk gloves, and then eventually we like started getting real boxing gloves. But that's how you'd settle your differences. Like I started telling Blake, I was like, "Hey dude, why don't we just go to your place and we just throw down?" And he's like, "All right." And I was like, "Guys, like we can't come back all mollywopped, because then they're going to know someone was fighting. They're going to call in a cop. Everyone's going to get in trouble.
Yeah.
We have to wear gloves. No bare knuckle fighting."
Mm-hmm.
So we started wearing Hulk hands and just bopping each other. And then it turned it into something else. It wasn't just, "Hey, I'm pissed at you, I want to throw down." It turned into like, "Hey dude, like who wants to throw down?"
Mm-hmm.
And then it just turned into like a boxing match at lunch.
Having fun.
Yeah, just having a good time, just blasting dudes, and just be like, "All right, cool, man, that was awesome. See you tomorrow."
Yep.
And then go back to school. Well, we got caught because we'd all take off. Well, Hillig, the principal, then decided she wanted to start following us because she thought for sure me and Blake were like up to drugs and all this other stuff. We were, but not like that. So she followed a couple of the guys one day to Blake's house. Like then there wound up being like 30 of us out there. And she's like, "What are you all doing here?" And we're like, "What are you doing here? Like, why are you following a bunch of teenage boys to a teenage boy's house?"
I need a whistle.
Like, yeah, dude. It was really creepy. So she's like, "Oh, I should call the cops." We're like, "Call the cops. We're hanging out. It's our lunch break. We can go anywhere we want for lunch. We're over here hanging out at Blake's. Like, what is your deal?" So we had to switch up where we would do it. And then the next year he moved, and he actually moved a lot closer to school. And he had a giant barn, like this giant barn in his backyard. So we just started doing it there.
Yeah.
And even if she followed us, we're going behind the house into a barn, closing the door. She can't go on the private property.
Yeah.
So she'd be like, "What are you guys doing in there?" We're like, "It's none of your business." But yeah, dude. So we started a fight club in high school.
That's pretty dope.
But it kept everyone out of trouble, because I mean, you're talking about like gangbangers, like legit, like dudes who had guns in their waistbands at the school.
Oh, I know.
Were willing to go in there and just
met some of 'em.
box. Yeah, and they were just willing to box and settle the difference instead of
The first time I held a handgun outside of my dad
Yeah.
shooting with me was in school, and it wasn't Old Man Tom.
Old Man Tom.
Old Man Tom. He literally was like, "You're gonna get in trouble for this. You can't have it." And he grabs it. And he's all, "Nick, hold this." And I was all, "Okay." Like, what the hell?
Dude,
am
the
I doing?
monitors
Dude,
were dope.
He
dude.
used to give me drugs. He would give me all kinds of stuff, and because he knew I wouldn't do it, I wouldn't mess with it.
Yeah, you were
at
a
all.
responsible kid.
So he'd give it to me, and then later on he'd call me to the front office or something, and I'm just walking up there with my backpack all nervous, shaking. Like, "Yeah, here's that envelope you wanted." Like, I was so scared, dude. He did it all the time to me. I never got in trouble, thank God. But
I used to leave. This is back when Grover was dating his first girl, and her aunt was the lady monitor that monitored the gate for juniors and seniors to leave at lunch. And so I used to go with them for lunch all the time as a freshman.
Oh, I left all the time just because I knew that there was one lady who followed us from elementary school, junior high, and high school. I think her name started with a T, and it could have been Tammy. But when she was up front, she would just let me leave. Like,
Oh no, I'm talking about the side gate.
oh, okay.
Yeah, through the side gate to the parking lot.
Yep.
Like, I don't know if it's still there, but
Yeah,
I
I
know.
don't
But back when we went, it was
Yeah.
just a parking lot. Now they got a beautiful swimming pool and all that other stuff.
Dude, we'll talk about this next one. I really got to get going, but we were literally the years of construction.
Yes.
Elementary school, As we leave,
Dude, yeah, we'd
the
have to-
next year they had all those nice buildings that were finished.
Yeah.
Then junior high, we had to walk across the street to get freaking lunch, and
Yep.
then the year we leave, it's all finished. And then high school, the pool was finished.
We were
our
in the new
senior
buildings.
Year.
We were in the new buildings in junior high. They weren't all finished.
Yeah, that's
but-
what I mean. They were,
But
everything
like
was
Sweeney,
finished.
science class Sweeney and
Yeah.
all them, they were down in the new buildings instead of the modules. But yeah, 7th grade we were in modules. 8th grade we had some of
Some
the new
classes.
construction.
9th grade, junior high was finished. 7th grade, elementary school was finished. Our senior year, it still wasn't finished. I think they still had construction next year, but the pool finished on our graduation.
Yeah.
That way we were the first people that were allowed to swim in it.
So
Like,
stupid.
it was terrible. But,
Yeah.
All right.
Well, if you made it this far, thanks for hanging out.
Yeah.
Tucson, Arizona. I've been Randy.
And I've been Nick. I'll be somebody else.
He's going to
tomorrow.
be Benjamin next time. I'm Batman.